Hello everyone, how are you all doing? In today's video, I thought I should be sharing on how I use this electric rice cooker that I've had at home past many years now. This is not a brand collaboration, but my very honest review on how good this one particular kitchen gadget is. It's quite safe to use, that even children can use. And also, you do not have to wait for the pressure to be released as pressure cooker. And the best part of using an electric cooker, you can easily carry it to your holiday home when you're trekking, doing outdoor activities, and using a caravan for summer months. And outings to begin very soon. I thought this would be an ideal video to show on how you can use this electric rice cooker in different ways to make different varieties of recipes. And if you already have a rice cooker and you're not using it for good, this video will be helpful for you to see how you can utilize this in the best way. So the first recipe that I have in mind is to make a lentil soup, for which I have red lentils that I have washed and soaked in water overnight. I drain the water. Plugged in the rice cooker and it's warm enough now to get started. It's heated up well. Now to this I add in a teaspoon of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves crushed, 1 small onion finely chopped. I saute it together until they start to sizzle up well. And now to this I add in half red bell pepper, 1 cup of red lentils. Now very important to bear in mind to warm up everything, even the dal as well, so that it's really nice and sizzling up. This way it will taste really good when you're eating your lentil soup or drinking your lentil soup. Once it's really nice and hot, that's when you add in half a tomato, 1 vegetable stock, salt to taste, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, jeerke pudi, jeera powder, and then add in sufficient amount of water. We want double the quantity of water for the tur dal as it's a soup. You can always adjust the water consistency later if it's too thick. Give it a good mix and cover it up with a lid. We let it nicely bubble in, and in the meantime I also start prepping for making quinoa bowl, for which I chop beans, carrot, red bell pepper, onions, and I have crushed 1 garlic clove. I have everything ready, and now I can see the tur dal has come to a good boil and the dal is nicely mushed up. The soup is now ready, so I transfer it in a serving bowl. For me to enjoy it later, but before I sit down to enjoy this drink, I'm going to set the quinoa to be cooked. I have mixed quinoa, which is very high in protein. I'm measuring 1 small cup measurement and giving it a good wash first. Now all the recipes that I'm showing for today are 1 pot recipes. You can either make it in 1 pot together at once, but today I'm feeling the urge to eat it nice and dry. I don't want it to be like a bath consistency, like, when you have that watery consistency in the quinoa. So I set the quinoa to get cooked first. I have added in 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa. When the quinoa is cooked, the rice cooker will change its setting from cook to warm. So that's how you will know the quinoa is cooked. I have a very basic electric rice cooker, not with a lot of options, but it still works the best to make different varieties of recipes in it. I transfer the quinoa into a bowl, and now I make the tempering ready with a teaspoon of oil, a tablespoon of desi ghee, 1 garlic clove crushed, and then I add in together at once 1 small onion, 1 carrot, half red bell pepper, a cup of mixed peas, corn and edamame beans. A very nice, beautiful, rich in colors quinoa bowl. We saute all the vegetables until they are nice and tender. If you want, you can add in quinoa at this point, add in water and cook it together. But as I said, I want it to be greeny today. So I have added in the cooked quinoa, adding in salt to taste. And then I'm using this homemade sambar powder that I had made yesterday. But if you want, you can use any powder. You can use wangibath powder, bisibelebath powder, or any powder that you like at home and you have it at home. You can just use that sambar powder. But if you do not want, you can skip adding in sambar powder. That's also fine. You can just add in salt and lime to finish off. And I add in a few coriander leaves as well. This actually tasted amazing. This quinoa bowl is perfect for lunchbox to take to your office. Now I'm making a small portion of Sichuan rice. This is how I make it. Now the best part of using an electric rice cooker, it consumes very little of oil. So whatever you'll cook, you will not need a lot of oil to make the dish. With a teaspoon of oil, quarter teaspoon of jeera, 1 green chili, half an onion, half red bell pepper. We saute all of them together at once, and once they start to sizzle up, I add in half a teaspoon of garlic and ginger paste, a cup of mixed beans, carrot, potatoes, sweet corn and peas, and 1 cup of basmati rice. Now here's the secret way of making it super tasty, by giving all of it a good stir, making it warm, and once the whole thing comes to really nice and hot, that's when we add in a teaspoon of Szechuan sauce, salt to taste, and then I add in 2 cups of water, 2 times water. When you're making a rice dish, a biryani, fried rice, Chinese fried rice, making it in a rice cooker will be good, especially the texture that you get than using a pressure cooker. When you use a pressure cooker, it tends to become super soft and mushy, but the rice cooker maintains the granules without turning it mushy, and that's why I prefer using rice cooker when I make rice items. Now you can see how beautifully this rice is done. The color, the texture, everything looks amazing. I continued using the rice cooker to make a pasta sauce as well, with onions, garlic, red bell pepper that I've sauteed together at once, adding in 1 tomato, pinch of salt so that everything turns out to be super soft and mushy. To this I add in dry basil and dry parsley with salt and a tablespoon of fresh cream. We blend all of this together to make a sauce. And then I set 100 gram of pasta shells with hot water and salt to be boiled. I am using penny pasta today. I retain the starch in a bowl, adding in pasta sauce, and then very little of starch, only to how much is required. Look at this nice, beautiful, creamy texture of the pasta. It tasted absolutely fantastic. So yeah, you can make pasta as well in the electric rice cooker. Now the next day I'm making idlis in the rice cooker. Now I prefer using the rice cooker instead of the pressure cooker, as it has a wide base, and also I can keep just the number of idli plates that I will need, not necessarily that I will need the whole entire idli stand to make idlis. I'm making instant rava idlis today with a teaspoon of oil in a pan, half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. You can see I always cover in half with a lid so that the mustard seeds do not splatter all over the kitchen countertop. This technique actually helps a lot, keeping the kitchen clean and less work for me to clean up the whole mess after cooking. And then I add in handful of cashew nuts that I've broken into small pieces, a teaspoon of chana dal, a teaspoon of urad dal, a cup of coarse semolina. I have roasted it until it has become really nice and warm. And now to this I add in salt to taste, a pinch of cooking soda, combining it well first, and then adding in 1 small onion finely chopped, 1 green chili, 1 grated carrot, handful of peas and coriander leaves, and fresh coconut. Adding in water to the base to the rice cooker, and we cover up with a lid so that the water starts bubbling in. And now to the mixture I add in buttermilk. This will make the idli taste really nice and sour. I smear very little of oil onto the idli plates and scooping up the rava idli batter, the rava idli batter that I have made. Instant idlis made in minutes if you wish to eat even on weekdays after office hours. This is how you can make it. The water has come to a good boil, so I place the idli plates. I've used only 2 idli plates and I'm keeping it together at once, one above the other, and covering it up for 10 minutes time. Toto is going to be back home soon after the school, so she will love eating sweet potatoes. We can also use the electric rice cooker to boil vegetables. As the idlis are now done, I keep more water so that the sweet potatoes will be boiled. Now the best part, I can just turn it on, set the timer and go to pick up Sanika from school. I do not have to be here waiting for me and for to turn off the flame. By the time I get back home, the sweet potatoes will be done and it will be nice and hot and warm for Sanika to enjoy the sweet potatoes. I'm going to pick up Sanika from school and when I'm back, I'll see it's perfect. It's been 15 minutes, the sweet potatoes are beautifully done. I drain the water and I prefer giving her some healthy snacks. And this is one of the most quick, easy way of giving snacks to your children after school. I add in honey and this will taste even better. Now, as it's raining and pouring almost the whole day, entire week, the whole month, today I'm craving to eat dhokla. So I thought I'll make it for breakfast for tomorrow morning because making breakfast is quite tedious and you do not know what to make. So I measure in 1 cup of kadlebele hittu, gram flour. I sieve it first so that we can get rid of all the lumps. The basin will be really nice and airy. To this, I add in salt to taste, a teaspoon of oil and buttermilk. Very little of turmeric powder as well. I just add in turmeric powder for most of my dishes as it's very nice natural ingredient full of beautiful color, and also it works as the best antioxidant, so why not incorporate it as much as we can. We give it a good mix and adding in very little of water just to get the right consistency of the batter. I give it a good mix and leave it to rest for overnight, and I'm going to use this the first thing in the morning to make breakfast. Resting it for overnight will make the batter really nice, fluffy and super soft dhoklas. And also it will be ready for the next morning before I go to sleep. Along with it, I also measure in 1 cup of barley. I give it a good wash and soak it in water for overnight. The next morning, I drain the water and before I go to take shower, I have set it in the rice cooker with water to be boiled for 20 minutes time. And this is what I like about rice cooker. I can easily go take my shower and I'll know I'll have to just come back and switch off the rice cooker. I'm planning to make a sweet dish with barley today. It's come to a good boil and now to this I measure in the same cup measurement of jaggery. So it's 1 cup measurement of barley to 1 cup measurement of jaggery. We let it bubble in nicely so that the jaggery is nicely melted and the barley becomes sweet and infusing the flavors of jaggery. I add in very little of oat milk for flavor and taste and it tasted actually excellent. I loved this barley sweet. This is definitely a healthy version of sweet that you can make, and also people with diabetes can eat the sweet as it's made using barley. I give it a quick rinse with water and I continue using it straight away by adding in water to the base, and we let the water bubble in. I do not have Eno powder at home, so I'm just using cooking soda, adding in 1/8 teaspoon of cooking soda and giving it a good whisk. I grease a small plate with ghee to the sides as well and to the base, pouring in the mixture and keeping it inside with a stand at the base, and then keep the plate so we can actually steam the dhokla, the common dhokla, for just 10 minutes time. I quickly go upstairs, get changed, and here is my breakfast ready. It's soft, nice and fluffy too. I make the tempering with ghee, cashew nuts, raisins first. It's always important to make a sweet dish first and then use the same pan, spoons, cutlery to make the spicy dishes next. Now I'm using the same pan to make the tempering for the dhokla with oil, mustard seeds. We add in little extra mustard seeds for this, as we are going to spread this tempering all over the dhokla. So we need a little extra portion. Finely chopped green chilies, jeera. I spread the seasoning all over the dhokla, adding in grated coconut and coriander leaves on top. A nice good portion of all the toppings will make the dhokla taste really nice, rich and tasty. So you have got to be generous with the tadka, grated coconut and coriander leaves as well. Definitely a super soft common dhokla. The only thing is the quantity is small. If it was lot, then it could have given a more fluffier version, which would be more visible. And I'm enjoying this for breakfast. Santosh is upstairs attending the meeting, but I cannot wait. I'm super hungry. I'm just going to sit down and enjoy this breakfast. This sweet dish made out of barley reminds me of Barley Huggi that I used to have when I was little. It's a very close version of making Barley Huggi, a very chewy texture of the sweet dish. If you're a person who likes to eat chewy food, then you will like this sweet dish. I loved it and I enjoyed it. And now, after a good breakfast, I'm planning to make risotto for afternoon lunch. As I have some cream left in the refrigerator, I have chopped up all the vegetables. I add in a tablespoon of olive oil into the rice cooker, 1 onion, 2 garlic cloves crushed, and once it starts to sizzle up, that's when I add in all the vegetables together at once. 1 carrot cut in circles, handful of baby corn cut in circles, sweet corn, peas, and I'm just adding in Sona Masuri rice because I do not have arborio rice to make risotto. But I just feel like eating risotto straight away, so I'm just using what I have at home and I really don't mind. Actually, Sona Masuri rice also tastes really good in making risotto. 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, salt to taste, and covering it up with a lid and a small glass so that the water doesn't start spluttering all over the kitchen countertop, covering up the steamy area. The rice is done, and now to finish this off by adding in 2 tablespoons of fresh cream and also adjusting the water consistency as we want it to be really nice, thick, creamy texture. So here we have a very creamy hot risotto which looks heavenly. And now to this, I sprinkle in very little of red chili flakes. You can also steam vegetables and momos in the rice cooker, as it has a wide base. Making momos is really great in the rice cooker. I have shown different varieties of momos, so I'm going to tag that video at the end of this video just so that you know and you'll get an idea on how to make momos as well in this versatile electric rice cooker. And if you were using it only to make rice all this time, you must have got plenty of ideas watching today's video, and now you can start incorporating different recipes, making the most of this rice cooker that you have at home. Or if you're thinking to buy a rice cooker, you must have got plenty of ideas on how you can use this. I really hope you found this video super helpful and useful. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more such videos and tasty recipes. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you all again soon in my next video. Bye bye for now.